Good morning, everybody. Today, for those who are joining us, it's day 4 of the 48-day journey, my personal journey to complete my goals. My name is Carl DiPrato. So today when I wanted to really go back, yesterday we talked about finding your why and why your why is so important to you. Now, to recap why I'm doing this and what I'm looking to complete and finish up, about 4 years ago I used to weigh 350 pounds. Lost 150 pounds. That was really wonderful through a program called Take Shape for Life. Became a health coach. Me and my wife have now helped almost 1,000 people directly or indirectly by losing that weight. But one of the little things that came out was I hadn't really finished helping myself because I still had 21 more pounds to go. So over the next 48 days, I'm back on the 5-in-1 program and I'm finishing up that. And when I say back on the 5-in-1, back on the 5-in-1 correctly. Many times when we start off a project, we go, okay, I'm going to start doing something, and these are the things I need to do. And we say, yeah, I'm doing it. And within a couple of days or week, we realize it really isn't getting done. We have all the great intentions in the world. We know it's important to us, but we just don't follow through. So I know I'd mentioned this before in the other tapes, but I'm going to touch back to you here. 4 weeks ago, when I started the journey, I couldn't stay on the 5-in-1 program for myself. Now, that's silly if you think about it. I've lost 150 pounds. I've helped and coached a ton of people to do the same, and yet I couldn't personally do it. And I was working with my coach, and my coaches said, hey Carl, it's been 2 years, you haven't made a change, and now you're going to start doing this. So we started, instead of working at, eating every 3 hours, making sure, looking at what exactly or where my moments of weakness were, we started to really look at why did I want to do this. So what I'm going to do today is really share with you how I developed my personal why, and hopefully that can help. So we started to, so week 1, lost a pound. Week 2, I didn't lose anything. And I came back, and I don't know how many times you may have had the story where you said, well, I'm trying really hard, and I'm focused, I've had a lot of really good things, but I'm still not getting the job done. So what we started to look at, very insightfully, was sometimes JC had said to me, who's my health coach, he said, Carl, so what's really important to you? And I said, very simply, my wife and my child. Lovely wife Sophia, who coaches with me, and we have a daughter, Mackenzie, who frankly 4 years ago wouldn't have been in our lives if I hadn't taken these steps. And I said, and then he goes, so what would you do for your daughter? I said, pretty much anything that needs to get done. For anybody who's a dad or a parent, I'm sure we all feel that way. Even, we love our kids. So we came back to what were my issues with, why couldn't I personally stay? And I was like, well, I'm losing focus. I have stresses. Everything else in my world was getting in the way. And so what he said is, well, how important is it for me to do the 5-in-1 perfectly for 1 week? And I said it was pretty important. Being really honest. And he said, well, in order for you to do it correctly, it's going to have to be as important as your family. And that hit me like a shot to the stomach. But he was right. For me in this situation, I had to associate the value of doing what I was doing with what I wanted to provide and what I wanted to do for my wife and my child. First thing I want to teach my daughter is how to follow through, how to be able to set a goal and to finish it and complete it. That's critical. As parents, we're here to guide our children. So that's absolutely critical. And then the other thing is I want to be, able to provide to my wife and my family, and not following through on things just doesn't equal up to me getting what I want out of life. So that's when those two things came together, and I realized that the 5-in-1 was really sort of helping me, was really aligning itself to what I wanted. Then all of a sudden, it wasn't an issue. I got focused. And so the first week that I was back on the program, it was 2 pounds. That doesn't sound like a lot, but for a guy who had been sitting for 2 years and not moving the scale anywhere, to really start to focus and to make that move, it was very encouraging. And then last week was 3 pounds, and we're finishing up. But regardless of what it is you're doing, you still have to align yourself to why you're doing it. You know, when you look at a riverbed, if you stick your hand in the river, the water will change its flow. And the reason for that is what we call structures. And the easiest way for you to change a structure is, you know, you put boulders, or you remove a boulder out of a river, and the water will change the flow accordingly. Well, there are structures in your life, in my life. Everybody has them. There are structures that make us successful, and there are structures that don't help us. So when you start to find out what your why is, and for you, and for whatever the thing is you're looking to do, whether it's to be a better student, whether it's to find a better job, or to better yourself, or to, you know, whatever it is, you have to create the structure in order for that to happen. And the first part of that, the foundation, is why are you creating it in the first place? So again, this is Carl DiPrato, encouraging you all to finish up.